This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. First tonight, sheriff deputies in Manatee County continue to search for answers regarding a dead body that was found in Bradenton this morning. The man's body was discovered off of 26th Avenue East. ABC7's Rick Adams has more tonight from Bradenton.
Well, the body was found right back there in this area around 8:30 Monday morning. Folks who live close by are completely shocked over this.
It's very frightening. I mean, it worries you.
That's the reaction from Phyllis Solcheski and others who live in the Sugar Creek Country Club in Bradenton. A dead body was found by a worker across the street from the development in a wooded area about 30 yards from 26th Avenue East.
There was gunshots around 5 o'clock that woke me up, but I didn't know that was what woke me up. But I heard later there was a body found over there with its mouth taped.
The victim has been identified as 41-year-old Michelangelo Jacoby Grantley. Investigators are treating this as a homicide. Rod Paddock lives part-time near the property where the body was discovered. He says this is a very secluded area and it's very quiet as well.
Nobody knows this back here. You know, when you got 10 acres right in the middle of the town of Bradenton, very rarely people don't know it's even here.
And the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is continuing with their investigation. If you know any more about this, you're being asked to contact authorities immediately. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. An arrest tonight in the murder of a Sarasota teenager. Northport police say 19-year-old Trent Bartle Thomas was inside a home on Porto Chico Avenue in Northport when two men wearing black ski masks stormed in and shot him to death. Police have arrested 21-year-old Dante Stanley Jr. in that shooting. Stanley is charged with homicide, home invasion robbery, and aggravated battery and assault with a deadly weapon. And we have new images tonight of that deadly boat fire shuttling people out to a floating casino off of Florida's Gulf Coast. Passengers jumping into the water to survive as the boat is consumed by flames near Port Richey. ABC's Victor Oquendo has the latest.
What's left of the Island Lady Casino shuttle boat is right here behind me off of Florida's Gulf Coast. There was harrowing video of it being engulfed in flames as the 36 passengers and 14 crew members jumped off, desperate to survive, and right into the cold water where they waded to shore. The shuttle boat was heading to a casino moored 9 to 12 miles offshore, the captain turning the boat around when that fire broke out. Neighbors and witnesses nearby rushing to help, bringing in dry clothes and blankets. 15 people had to be transported to the hospital for chest pain, smoke inhalation, and other injuries. One of them, a 42-year-old woman, dying in the hospital while being treated. No official cause has been determined, but the NTSB is investigating. The boat's captain being credited for his quick thinking, getting that boat close to shore, likely saving many lives. Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Port Richey, Florida.
Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for your first alert weather forecast. Bob, it was a pretty chilly morning today. Can we expect the same for tomorrow?
Well, I'll tell you what, tomorrow not as cold, but still cool. Temperatures will be a couple degrees below our average low temperature, right around 51 degrees. Right now, it's not too bad out there considering what we had to go through over the past couple of mornings. And it's 54 right now, fair skies for the most part. We have an east-northeast wind at 12. The pressure continues to rise. It's extremely high, 30.35 inches. Winds are out of the northeast right now, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour into Manatee and Sarasota counties right now. Osprey, you're at 14 out of the northeast, and down south, a little less, but still there, anywhere from 10 to 15. Northport at 9 out of the northeast, but elsewhere, right along the coast, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. And that northeast wind and northeast component is going to keep us on the cooler side. It's not directly out of the north, but we will see low temperatures running a few degrees below average. As far as rainfall goes, there are a few showers along the east coast, but temperature already down to 37 in Jacksonville, 40 in Tallahassee, 54 in Sarasota, and 46 in Orlando. We will warm up. Tomorrow, high temperatures will be back into the low 70s, which is fairly typical for this time of year. And the Gulf water temperature now at 60 degrees, and we are anticipating that to chill down too with the next cold front. And more than likely, we'll get, looks like those wind chill advisories will be back with us as early as Wednesday night. More on that cold snap coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Jacqueline.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Looking forward to it. Scientists are warning that red tide is reemerging along Florida's southwest coast, even after a recent cold front knocked it back. Medium counts of red tide organisms were recorded in Lee, Charlotte, and Sarasota counties last week. Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation's Rick Bartleson says he found 700,000 cells per liter near a preserve west of Fort Myers, although he said he hasn't heard of any fish kills in that area. Scientists have counted high levels of the algae linked to red tide in recent weeks along southwest Florida beaches, although Sarasota County is now showing very low levels. Red tide organisms grow naturally in the Gulf of Mexico, but high concentrations are harmful to wildlife and can cause respiratory problems in humans. Well, Florida lawmakers will head back to Tallahassee this week to tackle one of the biggest issues facing the state, opioids. This week, the state Senate will be considering a bill limiting opioid prescriptions to a 3-day supply or a 7-day supply in cases of severe pain. Doctors would also be required to check patients' prescription records before giving them more. And before doctors prescribe an opioid or any other prescription medication to a patient, they must have a urine and oral exam.
To make sure that, number one, they are taking the medications we are prescribing, so there's less of a chance of misuse or diversion. To make sure that they're not getting medications that we are not prescribing.
All medical professionals would also have to check a state prescription drug database to see patients' histories before writing a prescription. And storms are a major priority on the Florida legislature's agenda this year following Hurricane Irma's devastation across most of the Sunshine State. Lawmakers will consider proposals ranging from making evacuations more efficient to helping the devastated citrus industry. The House is concentrating on storm preparations and recovery efforts, while the Senate is focusing on economic damage. Hurricanes have hit the state the past 2 years following a more than decade-long lull. Florida is also handling an influx of Puerto Ricans following the devastation Hurricane Maria left behind on their island. A 21-member committee will vote tomorrow on nearly 80 recommendations to refer to committees for legislation. The Venice Wildlife Center is gearing up for a big move. The Animal Hospital and Rehabilitation Center recently bought a new property after efforts to buy its existing land fell through. Now the nonprofit center is working to raise money to rebuild cages for recovering animals and a 120-foot cage for eagles to learn to fly again. The center first has to reapply for rezoning on the new property.
We're very proud to have this second chance here in the same neighborhood, and we hope to make the most of it.
The Wildlife Center hopes to have the rezoning and moving completed in just over a year from now. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, a house of horrors uncovered in Southern California. How police discovered 13 children held captive in their own home. And the latest in that controversy over President Trump's alleged racist comments. We'll have more on these stories when we return.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk.
This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Bob, I went to get in my car later this evening, and I literally had a little bit of a chill because it was that cold.
Yeah, chilled here in this building, too. This
Right.
building's a little bit chilly lately as a result of the temperatures over the past couple of days into the 50s for highs. But today, different story. We got into the upper 60s. Tomorrow, even warmer still. So, yeah, we're going to have one day warm up, and then things start to chill out again. Here's a nice photo that was sent in earlier. And you can see this was the sunset this evening at Sarasota Bayfront. Miss Ensley sending that in. Appreciate that photo. Sunrise tomorrow, by the way, 7:21, and should be just as gorgeous as that sunset because skies will be clear. Casey Key webcam showing the fair skies overhead and some high-level cirrus clouds moving in earlier made for a spectacular sunset. Again, looks like we'll see similar conditions again tomorrow. Before the clouds move in, clouds are going to come in as a result of a cold front that is starting to develop over the southern plain states, and this front already bringing snow into Texas and expected to spread off to the lower Mississippi Valley. Right now, very active subtropical jet stream. Saw some of the clouds with it moving off to the east right there. A few showers, very light rain showers along the east coast, and then here comes the front. Already starting to bring some snow and rain mixed right there over northeast Texas, right there near Dallas. A lot of snow taking place into Arkansas right now, where they could get up to 6 inches of snow. Now, 54 here, nice and mild compared to what we've had. We have partly cloudy skies, winds out of the east-northeast at 12. And high today, I want to show you real quick, it's 69 degrees, getting close to our average. This morning's low was chilly at 44. Well, right now it's 54, 10 degrees warmer than the low this morning. 37 though in Jacksonville and 46 in Orlando, 65 in Miami. Hourly forecast for Tuesday looks like this with plenty of sunshine in the morning, just a few clouds in the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 70s. At one point we'll get up to about 72 degrees, especially some inland areas. And then tomorrow night, warmer still before the next cold front arrives. Now, that cold front, as I mentioned, is starting to develop along an area of low pressure here. That front will move through relatively unnoticed in terms of rainfall, but we will see some increase in cloudiness come late Wednesday afternoon, and that will be a result of that front. And behind it, the Arctic air is spilling southward now, all the way down into the plain states. So snow falling in southern Ohio, stretching off into Kentucky and northwest of Lexington and all the way down to Bowling Green, getting some snow showers there with a quick hitting system, a clipper system, if you will. And we are watching the system develop. This is the future cast. We'll take you through time. For us, we're looking at fair skies tomorrow as a result of high pressure. Here comes the front, though, and the area of low pressure developing. A little bit of snow getting close to the panhandle of Florida near Tallahassee, and freezing rain and snow, a real possibility Wednesday morning as the kids get to the school there. We're going to have a hard time of it. Schools may be closed as a result of some freezing rain around there near Tallahassee. And then for us, the front goes through relatively unnoticed. We'll see some clouds around, and then eventually the front clears and it turns cold. Forecast winds tomorrow will be out of the northeast, anywhere from 10 to 15 in the morning, and then really picking up on Wednesday as that front nears and moves on through. You'll notice a 20, 25-mile-an-hour wind. Small craft advisories will be issued for Wednesday night, too, and into Thursday morning. That Arctic air spilling southward now in Minot. The current temperature minus 15 and 8 into St. Louis. It feels like minus 8 in St. Louis right now, minus 14 in Kansas City. So, yes, winter making a comeback across much of the eastern two-thirds of the nation. For boaters tomorrow, a little bit breezy, 15 knots, subsiding to 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop. And then here's the forecast as we see it. 70 for a high tomorrow, basically along the coast. 64, though, for a high on Wednesday. And then the clouds increase later in the day. Wind chill in the morning on Thursday will be right around 30 degrees, and that's when the advisories will be out. But notice this, we start to warm up Friday, 70 degrees, and then a decent weekend ahead. Finally, temperatures into the mid-70s both on Saturday and Sunday, as the Manatee County Fair will be wrapping up on a warm note, it looks like, as opposed to the chilly start that it got. 53 for a low on Saturday morning, 58 and a bit warmer on Sunday morning. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Now to that Alberta Clipper, the new winter storm moving across the country, bringing snow and ice. And right behind that, another Arctic blast. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in New York with more details.
Bitter cold and blinding snow is barreling across the country as 80 million people from Texas to Minnesota to Maine stand in the storm's path. In Kentucky, police say they're fighting a losing battle to black ice. This car slams right into an officer's cruiser. Spinouts from South Dakota to Indiana, where a jackknifed semi left traffic backed up for miles.
A little shaky out there, especially the bridges and the overpasses.
In Chicago, an army of 200 plows have been deployed.
The side streets are bad.
At Boston's Logan Airport, an Alaska Air flight collided with a de-icing truck. The storm aiming for cities and towns already dealing with a frigid cold winter.
I've never seen the water that high on it.
In the Northeast, frozen floodwaters are threatening entire towns as massive chunks of ice, known as ice jams, rush downstream, spilling into nearby communities.
That's how thick they are. That's something else.
In Swanton, Vermont, the entire town is overrun by floods. The frozen waters submerge cars in Hollowell, Maine.
When we glanced down and saw that the entire parking lot was underwater, we were a bit shocked.
And there are flood warnings in New Jersey for a massive ice jam covering the Delaware River. The storm's expected to bring a swath of snow that stretches from Louisiana to the Ohio Valley, eventually slamming into the East Coast.
The main concern now is dangerous driving conditions as this storm leaves behind icy roads from Chicago to Texas just in time for the morning commute. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
A shocking story out of Southern California where police have arrested a couple suspected of holding 13 of their children captive in their own home. 57-year-old David Allen Turpin and 49-year-old Louise Anna Turpin are charged with torture and child endangerment. Police say a 17-year-old girl escaped from the home and called 911. She told authorities she and her 12 siblings were being held captive inside the home by her parents, some bound with chains and padlocks. When police responded to the home, they found the siblings ranging in age from 2 to 29 years old in filthy and torturous conditions. Authorities say the siblings appeared malnourished and that even the 7 siblings who are adults looked like children.
They were all in PJs because it was early in the morning. They were very, very pale skinned, like almost like they've never seen the sun. But I've seen a couple of the older ones, so they all, and it was mostly girls, and then kind of small framed, I'd say kind of tiny, almost looked a little malnutritioned.
Bail has been set at $9 million for each of the suspects. The children are now being treated at local medical centers. President Trump pushing back against critics who are calling him racist. This as backlash continues to grow over offensive remarks that he allegedly made about Haiti and African countries. ABC's Arlette Saenz has more from Washington.
A clash is erupting over what President Trump did or didn't say. The only Democrat to attend the meeting insists the president used an offensive phrase to describe African countries.
This speaks to America and its view toward immigration. It is a message to the world, and a message which I think is inconsistent with the values of this country. I don't believe the majority of Americans agree with the president.
The president is firing back on Twitter. Senator Dickey Durbin totally misrepresented what was said. 2 Republicans in that meeting initially said they didn't recall the president making vulgar remarks. Now they flat out say it didn't happen.
I'm telling you he did not use that word, George, and I'm telling you it's a gross misrepresentation.
Also in that meeting, GOP Senator Lindsey Graham, who told a colleague that reports of the president using derogatory expressions were, quote, basically accurate.
What I heard I didn't like. Thursday was a step backwards, and my goal is to get us moving forward.
The purpose of that meeting, discussing ways to protect the so-called Dreamers. Democrats want Dreamer protections to be a part of a package to avoid a government shutdown on Friday. A proposed DACA deal now seems up in the air. The president blames Democrats.
Honestly, I don't think the Democrats want to make a deal. I think they talk about DACA, but they don't want to help the DACA people.
The president is also pushing back on suggestions he's racist.
No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed.
Lawmakers return to Washington tomorrow, and House Democrats are working on a measure to censure President Trump over his alleged remarks. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Well, sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Watch this and then discuss it with your friends.
Listen, I have a lot of funny Barbra Streisand stories.
What?
Okay.
Give us one. One funny Barbra Streisand. Why do you have funny Barbra Streisand stories?
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
I'm Alan Cohn. Remembering Clifford Irving, an author known for writing a fake autobiography of Howard Hughes. His wife speaks with ABC7 in an exclusive interview.
Tomorrow on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Now, sports.
The Pittsburgh Pirates will come to Bradenton next month without one of their most talented and popular players. According to several reports, the Pirates trading former National League MVP Andrew McCutchen to the San Francisco Giants. It's not immediately clear what Pittsburgh will receive in exchange for McCutchen. He's a 5-time All-Star, but his trade marks the start of a rebuilding campaign by Pittsburgh. And in the NBA tonight, a rematch of last year's finals. Cleveland hosting Golden State. In the first quarter, the Warriors down 5. Kevin Durant makes the steal and finishes the break with a big slam. 34-31 for the Cavs. In the second, Warriors down 4. Kevin Durant drives on LeBron James for the wing. But James trails and pins his shot against the backboard on the big blocked shot. The Golden State Warriors go on to win tonight 118-108. Olympic gymnastics champion Simone Biles says former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar also abused her. She joins 140 women accusing Nassar of abusing them while he worked for USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University. Biles came forward on social media just a day before his federal sentencing begins. Nassar pleaded guilty back in November to 7 counts of criminal sexual conduct and admitted that he used his position to sexually abuse young girls, including those under the age of 13. It's all part of a plea deal in which he's expected to get life in prison. Biles is the latest member of the Fierce 5 2012 U.S. gymnastics team to speak out against Nassar. Allie Raceman, Gabby Douglas, and Michaela Maroney have also said he abused them. Well, the Tennessee Titans have split with coach Mike Mularkey after he revived a team with the NFL's worst record over 2 seasons and led them to their first playoff victory in 14 years. The Titans announced the move today, 2 days after a 35-14 loss to New England in the AFC divisional round. Controlling owner Amy Adams Strunk says in a statement that they discussed extending his contract during the past week, but she says they saw different paths to take that team to greater success. That's a look at your sports tonight. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Tomorrow on ABC7 News at 7.
That happened in the past. I just want to let it go. So I think he had regrets about that it still haunted him. But he tried to use it to his advantage as well.
An ABC7 exclusive with the wife of Clifford Irving. I'm Alan Cohn. Join us at the Trapezoid, where we'll hear the truth about the hoax.
Tomorrow on ABC7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
So when the kids are heading to the bus stop in the morning or maybe going out for a light walk with your dogs, you might want to pack a light jacket. Or
yeah, a light jacket tomorrow, a heavier one on Thursday morning when the wind chill advisory will be out there. But nothing like the frozen tundra that they're seeing right now. Look at the wind chills up there in Minnesota and also into North Dakota, minus 34. That's what it feels like right now. And in Chicago, it's a balmy -1, so it's not bad there. So the frozen tundra is all the way down into Dallas, where it feels like 20 degrees there.
Wow.
And we are looking at a different story for our day planner. Looks to be pretty good tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s, which is pretty close to average, and no real threat of any rainfall. By the way, that rain chance is not there. It's no rain chance at all, and we have some great photos, and it should be a great sunrise tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Bob, and thank you all for joining us this evening. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night.